Hey everybody, it's Xander. Welcome back to Analogue. I hate story right than last we left off. What the fuck has happened to my... Oh god, what? Anyway, yeah, so, last we left off, I believe I was going to get to these. I was in the process of reading through all of the new... Oh my god. All of the new, messages. Wasn't there? Yeah, they are okay. Alright, just making sure. It's been a while since I played this. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Back into the drama. Oh boy. Oh, hello. Normally my conversations with Mute are of a rather frivolous nature, gossiping the affairs of some of the more important noble houses, as well as her trying to bait whatever she is able to out of me. While I think such a flow of information is valuable, so I might pass news to my husband that he might not otherwise hear, I would not consider her attitude to have any resemblance to seriousness. Oops. Previously I had assumed that this was simply impossible due to her nature. Well, I do not really understand how, despite her explanations, anyone could live inside a computer screen because you're all a bunch of... because your civilization kind of went backwards a little bit. Not to mention your civilization happens to be a starship, but yeah. She says that she's an artificial person. I'd assume that perhaps her absence of a soul prevented her from feeling serious emotions. Ordinarily, she wears incredibly bold, colorful clothing, her golden hair absurdly well adorned. For the past month, however, she's been uncharacteristically humble, wearing an unappealing brown dress with her hair undecorated. My curiosity got the better of me. Oh, that's right, yeah, I was going to say, maybe she's in mourning, then I remembered, oh yeah, that's the title. I'm so insightful. Please, I have wondered, why are you so attired? It is unlike you, I asked. She gave me an odd look. Huh? She asked. It's a mourning dress. That much was obvious, and not particularly the thrust of my question. Did you not tell me you were thousands of years old and that you have no family? What reason are you wearing mourning? Blah, blah. She gave me an annoyed look. A friend of mine died, okay? No, I don't have a family, it's always just been me. But this guy was a really good friend, and he definitely deserves that kind of respect, she said. We were super close. Do you wish to tell me about him? I asked. She gave me the look that I couldn't quite read, but seemed somehow sad. Nah, she said. I don't want to talk about it. Not now. I miss him too much. Hey, I'm going to go now, okay? I'll talk to you later. I said goodbye to her, and she disappeared from the computer screen. But as she did, I could have sworn that I saw her start to cry. Oh, little Mutie has feelings. Well, yeah. She probably did see me cry, and I had a really hard time talking about it then. Especially not to my mistress. I really didn't mean to be so vulnerable in front of her. That just isn't proper. Kind of embarrassing, really. I'm sure you've already guessed, but yeah, the man in question was Miss Sung-jung. Strictly speaking, there was no real mourning obligation. It's not like I was really family. Still, the man was the closest thing to a husband to me. I mean, don't take this the wrong way. It's hardly scandalous. I'm not a real woman. I'm just a computer. But yeah, we had a really close relationship, so yeah, I thought it'd be appropriate if I honored him like he was. He never married, so it's not like anyone else would. I just figured the man deserved more than that. He totally deserved at least that much. Oh. Right. Letter to Sungmin. Okay. Oh, nothing. Not even Blinky, it's just a basic message. Okay. Oh, dearest brother of mine. Oh, jolly. There's all proper and shit in this. Don't mind me, it's actually, I only recently woke up. I gave myself just enough time that I wouldn't be horribly groggy, but I haven't had any coffee yet until now. I was waiting for that to get finished. Ugh. It's a bad morning when you have to wait a few hours before you can actually make the coffee that you're typically accustomed to. As I'm sure you know, it's been 3 years since my husband died. I still mourn him in my heart, but not in real life because I go out partying every fucking night. Oh yeah. Of course, and I'm sure I will forever, but the official mourning period's over. You probably also know that the Huang family, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, isn't doing very well right now. Terribly, in fact, and it only got worse when my husband died. It didn't help that we only had daughters, so I don't exactly have a son to look after me. Right now, I'm completely at the mercy of his parents, and, well, as I said, no son. They only took me in because of that big dowry. They sure never liked me, and it's only gotten worse. Way worse. So I need you to help me out, Min, or they're going to just abandon me. Do you remember that story we used to read together as a child about that widow who had turned to begging? I'm sure you remember how it ended. Well, that's going to be me at this rate. Don't worry though, I have a plan. I've talked to my husband's brother about this, and I also have managed to discreetly fish some information out of his parents. They'd be willing to let me get married to him, and all you need to do is chip in a new dowry. 1.5 times the old one would be enough. Please respond as soon as possible, little brother, because I really need your help here. Love, Sung-hee. Okay, how did that go, though? Oh, here it is. Sister Sung-hee, calm down. They may not be nice, but I'm sure they're not going to kick their son's widow out in the street. Do you have any idea how terrible that would look for them? It would be a huge disgrace in their name. As for remarrying, I'm sorry, but that's a lot of money you're asking. Besides, you know how much remarriage is looked down upon. Chaste widowhood may be a difficult standard to hold yourself to, but you will be honored forever if you can manage it. And if anyone is good enough to live up to that standard, I know it's you, big sister. Now, is this you is this you wriggling out of it? That's my question. With sugary words and so on, pretending you care. I don't know. I wish I could give you an easier way out, but I hope you realize it's for the best that way. Sung-min. No message, no you. Okay. Oh god, it's just back and forth in this shit. Just see the first line. Oh, generous and benevolent young brother of mine, I know you think I'm being hysterical and exaggerating. I'm not, I promise. It's funny you mention the importance of chaste widowhood because they're talking about that too. Of course, I don't think you have the same ideas in mind. They're talking about the sort that ends in an honorable suicide. Actually, they've been talking about it a lot. We would, of course, go with that option, take my own life to honor his memory. Would you like to help me out with that? I'm not really very good at either holding knives or tying nooses ever since the arthritis got serious. But if you could help out, that plan could work. If you're too busy to help your sister kill herself, though, you could just do the next best thing and send that dowry. I'm sure somehow you'll manage to figure out a way to find the money. I have faith in you, little brother. I remind you again, of course, that appealing to the family's honor is a waste of time. Father married me to a merchant, remember? Talking about honor, but trust me, I've lived in this house for over 2 decades, and I've looked everywhere. Even under the sitting cushions, they just don't have any. So I'm going to ask you once more, little brother. You can either send a new dowry, or failing that, come by with a nice sharp knife. If you can't bring yourself to do at least one of those things, then my destitution is on your head. Do you think Father would be proud of that? You are the son, you tell me. With love, your sister Sung-hee. With love. And a lot of love lost in this family, isn't it? Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's just short. Sister, you're going to be the death of me, but I won't be the death of you. Fine, I'll figure something out. Tell his parents that I can offer them as much as the old dowry. I'll send a messenger by next week to work out the delivery of it. You're such a woman, do you know that? Manipulative to the very core, that's what you are. The death of me, I swear. Sung-min. What an absolutely loving family. Okay. Nothing. The new bruise. Oh. Mentally preparing myself for this is gonna go. Oh, hello. Dearest mother, I really could use your advice. Husband has been working very late into the night recently on some business that he won't even share with me. I understand his reluctance to talk to me on things his superior has sworn him to secrecy on, and that damn child has been keeping me plenty busy anyway, but I still wish he could tell me. Last night he was out even later than normal, and when he finally did return he had a black eye, his face and hands bloodied. Okay, never mind, it was your husband that got beaten, and that's odd, but it's not as horrifying as I was expecting. He looked pretty bad, and the sight of that really scared me. Of course, you of all people know that I'm hardly squeamish to the sight of blood. It was how hurt he looked. I hurried into the kitchen and started to clean his wounds. I'll admit my voice wavered when I asked, "Husband, what happened?" He was reluctant to answer and grunted in pain when I convinced him to put ice on his bruised eye. He finally did, and you absolutely can't repeat what he said to me, do you understand? Not a word of it to anyone, not even to father. But I truly need advice. I had some questions for the High Magistrate's office. He sent his brother, Smith Song-Kyu, to answer them. That's the dumb, nasty one. My husband trailed off thinking. I asked him something that he didn't agree with. I had the moral high standing, but he had the physical high standing. His wound's clean, I didn't know what to do, but touched the uninjured part of his face to comfort him. Then he joked. Turns out his argument hurt a whole lot more than mine. But I could tell underneath that he was truly hurt. What do I do, Mother? How is a woman supposed to respond to such an awful thing happening? I've tried to comfort him as best as I can, but I just don't know what else I can do, Mother. Please, you must have some advice. Alright, what's your commentary? Oh, hey, wait, that reminds me of something else. Well, you know Hana, right? The whore who got herself seduced by Sojin? Yes. There's not really a lot of writing from her, but I've gotten a log entry from Kim Young-suk about her. You probably want to see it. Right, well, I'll just get back to it then. But I figured that's probably something you're pretty interested in. The new bribe. Nothing. The incident occurred right as I was leaving the magistrate's office after a late night of going through some of his paperwork. The corridor lights had long ago dimmed, and the office should have been empty, so the horror slanked against the wall right outside definitely stood out. She was small and looked very young, and obviously she was dressed like any commoner, with her arms covering otherwise exposed breasts and all. I won't lie and say she wasn't attractive. She certainly was. I'm sure she's very good at her role. No, I'm sure you are. Hi, the horse said, approaching me. You're Kim Young-suk, right? I said yes. My name is Hana, she said, offering her hand to shake. It's an honor to meet you. I didn't take it and told her that it wasn't appropriate to be talking to her right now. But I've got a message from Smith Song-min that he really insists I deliver, the horse said, moving closer. Can I come inside? I said no, of course. Even then I could tell exactly where this is going and was not pleased. Please, he was really insistent, she said, putting her hand on my face and smiling. I slapped it away instantly and shoved her into the wall. Tell him I said no, I snapped at the whore and walked away. She chased after me for a while, but eventually she seemed to realize that she wasn't going to get to me and gave up. She was gone by the time I got home. I still can't believe he actually thought that would work. Now I want to know more about what the High Magistrate's association with that whore even was. Okay, click. Alright, here we go. My throat's been sore all fucking week from having to do a bunch of batch recording, and it's like, oh look, even more reading. It's like, then why am I playing this game? Because I need to get it finished. Fuck. I mean, it's a good game, I enjoy it, it's just like, I have to sit through a straight hour of reading every time I want to do a video for it, which is a little hard on my throat. Ugh. Okay. To the woman who will marry my husband, fuck you. As you are doubtlessly aware, it is traditional for a nobleman's mother to write poetic admonitions to be sent to the bride-to-be before she enters the family, explaining the circumstances and proffering advice to her. Sadly, your mother-in-law has long since departed, leaving the responsibility in my hands. Oh, good. I had never had any such letters sent to me, for reasons which I'll explain soon enough, and I have furthermore studied verse only well enough to know that I am unable to write it well. I hope you do not think less of me, young pale bride, for addressing these letters in plain speech instead. Rather, pay attention to my words over my form, and please do not be hasty in erasing these letters after reading, for your own sake. I hope you find the advice and knowledge I impart on you useful. Oh, jolly, what's your fucking input here? Yeah, like I said, I suggested she just wrote them in straight prose. As for the reason why she didn't get anything from her own mother-in-law, well, that's pretty complicated. There were kind of some issues in the family there. You'll see what I mean if you read on. As insinuating I won't. Wait, does it actually go to the next one? It does. God damn it. I need to remember to keep using that then. And instead of doing it the roundabout way. To the woman who will marry my husband. As you are no doubt aware, the Ryu family has an extremely long and proud history. Every man to hold the title captain and emperor has always been of our house, and you are here to make sure that continues for another generation. The name goes all the way back to the ancient times. Mythology speaks of the Captain Ryu who had control of even the ship's movement and the stars themselves. Oh, yes. I know, I get that this is a society that doesn't even understand the technology they're surrounded by because of whatever the hell happened to invoke a kind of, minor collapse, but it's still kind of funny. He could even move the ship, like the ship is supposed to be moved. Just in the context of someone who knows that the ship is supposed to be able to be piloted by the captain, it's a little bit entertaining. Such things remain far removed from everyday life, but it is important to understand the significance of the house, and the title that your first son will eventually come to inherit. Click. Well, if that sounds like a kind of simplistic explanation, you have to understand it's not really like anyone had the frame of reference to really get space travel. Yeah, exactly, there you go. Even I only sort of barely understand that I'm the ship's computer. Imagine what it must be like for some barely educated woman in a society that doesn't really understand its technology. In a society that doesn't really understand its technology, having only ever lived inside the ship. So her description of the captain and emperor's role is, well, it's a little mythologizing, okay? A little. But it's pretty much accurate, right? Nope. It's an obvious matter that I do have the same family name as my husband. The official story, if you have not already heard, is that we are cousins, making our marriage improper and less than ideal, but somewhat acceptable given the circumstances. Oh, well then. At the time, there were no noble daughters who had not already been promised or were given away in marriage, and obviously a girl of any lesser upbringing could not possibly be suitable as queen. Hence, cousins would simply have to do. Strictly speaking, this is all true. The part about there not being any noble daughters available is not a misrepresentation. And as far as any genealogy is concerned, the emperor is the son of my father's brother. The part which you may not speak of openly is that he is the old emperor's son only by adoption. As far as blood goes, my husband is also my brother. Oh. Well, that's worse. As children, we never lived together, and it would, of course, have been strictly improper to have spent any time together at that age. I would never say anything such as that my husband actually arranged there to be no noble daughters to marry, out of his desire to marry me. That would, of course, be a rather bold move to accuse an emperor of such, but you may wish to consider what the implications might be if such a thing truly did happen. I leave it to you to decide whether or not such a thing is plausible. All I will say is that despite our marriage being one of necessity, my husband has always been very fond of me. Huh. Oh, that's a little, gross. Yeah, that's... Okay, what you're suggesting? That is gross and wrong and definitely... Well, I don't think a bold move even begins to cover what she's saying. I feel bad saying this. I liked her, we were close, she was a good woman, but my real master was the emperor, and it would be a disservice to give her a pass on this. She was way over the line here. Over the line or wrong, there's a difference between the two. I think it's damn irresponsible of her to have even considered hunting the hell bride that. Why would she even need to know? Anyway, I don't even buy the implication. I don't think it's even true. You don't think or you don't want to acknowledge the fact it might, well, the possibility of being true. I don't know I don't know if you've noticed, but the impronounceable's birth rates are, well, it's not good. They have been bad for generations, but they were just getting worse and worse. Among noble families, they weren't even at a replacement rate anymore. I have no idea why. Nobody really ever wanted to acknowledge it. Okay, that's interesting. So the population was dwindling for some reason. So what I'm saying is, even knowing the fact that he wanted, and her suggestion is wrong, I don't think the emperor would have to contrive it so there weren't any noble daughters of proper age. The simple fact of the matter is, that sort of incest ended up being necessary. And apparently didn't help since even she couldn't deliver a son anyway. No awful and inappropriate theories are necessary. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Huh. So the question is, what was happening to the population then? Was there a cause for it to start vanishing, or? Curiouser and curiouser. Next message. As for your responsibilities, your burden will be quite light. You will, of course, be expected to be the model of feminine virtue. Oh, in the words, shut up, stand there, and look pretty. But truthfully, I don't expect you will have very much trouble with this. As long as you keep your head down, avoid scandal, and keep quiet, there you go. That will more than suffice. As for the day-to-day is concerned, you will have nothing to concern yourself with, as this is the royal family you are marrying into. As queen, I run the management of the house's affairs and will not require any assistance from you in that regard. As part of a royal concubine's demonstration of modesty, you will have to share my own personal servant and will not have one of your own. While you will not have to be responsible for all housework, be modest and do not remain idle at her expense. You are expected to be as unseen as the servants, and to be voiceful only in the most moderation. Do not speak harshly to your servant, and be appreciative of what she does and not incompassionate. Yeah, a lot of this first bit here, well, unseen, voiceful, only moderate. Yeah, I exceedingly doubt she's gonna like any of this, given what we've seen of past Hyun-ae's proclivities, her inclination, and the fact that she was born in a more modern society, more modern, more the words not coming to me, whatever, you know what I mean. Your one sole responsibility will be spending as much time with the Emperor as it takes to produce a son. After you give birth, you will not need to worry about raising him. I will be there to make sure that all is arranged for. Simply make our husband happy, keep out of sight, and give him a son. You will have no more to worry about yourself with. So basically, sit there, have sex, produce child, shut the fuck up. That's wonderful. Well, I guess I'll grant the pale bride. Why do I think that's what she kind of wants to call her? The pale bride one thing. You never had to worry about her speaking out of turn. At the time, she seemed like the perfectly virtuous wife, right up until she snapped at the end. I know. How do you even reconcile that, right? How can someone seem so close to being the pinnacle of feminine virtue then turn to be so completely messed up? I think it's because she may have been a little smarter than you're giving her credit for. One can can assume the roles that they need to in order to achieve something and to get into a certain position, but I don't know the full story. Maybe she did snap, maybe it was part of a plan she had, maybe she just couldn't take it anymore. I don't know, but you're biased, and I understand that. Of course, that's the thing, that's what's interesting. She is kind of an unreliable narrator. Both of them are in their own way. They're unreliable sources of information given their own bias, which makes this a lot more interesting and kind of puts it up towards much closer to personal interpretation. You have to kind of put the pieces together yourself and come to your conclusions. At least that's what I'm seeing so far. I still don't get it, not even slightly. Yeah, it seems to be the norm for you, though. Sounds a little mean. Wait, did I read this one yet or not? I don't remember. I'll have to back out to make sure I'm not reading or rereading old ones. The virtues which you are expected to demonstrate are simply those expected of any woman, and given your noble upbringing, I will not condescend to treat you as if you do not already know them quite well. You are expected to be quiet and obedient, to me as well as obviously to our husband. Perchance you are scolded, trust my judgment as your elder, and I will never act out of anger or spite. If scolded by a husband, always respond with a smile, for your relationship with him must always be warm, and he is a wise man. I do not, however, anticipate such things will be problems. He told me the interview in which he spoke to you, and had nothing to report at all on your manner of speech, so I will trust it was entirely proper and polite. In light of that, I will say nothing further on the matter. As far as ritual obligations go, you have none save for following in my lead. Both your mother and father-in-law are long dead, so you have no further obligation to them. I had trouble adjusting at first, but I anticipate nothing you could be surprised by. Okay, am I reading old ones or not? Okay, Pale Bride's marriage, here we go. I must have been. My fear of the pale bride, it seems, was unfounded. In my letters to her that I wrote that I was not jealous. A lie, of course. As queen, it is true that I have authority over any of my husband's other wives, but that authority does certainly not extend to his affections, especially since she is a beautiful woman of only 15 years, and I am a withered old lady 20 years her senior. You're 35? Wait, am I numbering correctly here? Let me just make sure, because I'm stupid when it comes to numbers. 15 years, 20 years senior. That should be 35 then, right? It's simple addition. Why am I failing this? 35. So old. And yet I am not. Until she officially married her husband, I had only seen her briefly at the formal interview. Aside from her beauty, she had made hardly any impression, but now she is living in my house, and I have seen more of her while she is not busy tending to the Emperor. And I realize now I have no cause for jealousy that is any fault of hers. She hasn't spoken a single word to me and only looks at me from a distance. At first, I mistook this for arrogance, as though she thought me unworthy of approaching. I realized soon that it is not so. I see no smugness in her eyes, nor do I see happiness, nor sadness, nor anything else. She's afraid of me. Not the sort of fear that would show in her eyes, the sort of fear that would paralyze her or leave her on edge. It is hardly noticeable at all, and yet I can tell. Her fear is that of resignation. The sort of fear where one simply waits for what one believes is inevitable, whatever it is that she thinks I will do to her. She's not afraid that I will be jealous, she knows it, and is simply waiting for the consequences. I cannot be jealous of a woman like that. I feel for her. I want her to feel welcome. I want to give her the hope she has clearly lost back. It's not out of jealousy that I say I earnestly want her to understand how lucky she is. When I last saw her, I took her inside and said, "Please, you do not have to fear me. If you ever wish to talk to me, please do find me." She said nothing, but she did smile a little. I have seen her smile before, but only in a hollow way, where the mouth moves but no emotion stirs in the eyes. Otherwise known as, well, whenever I'm told to smile for a picture. People love to point that out. It's even more annoying when family does it. It's like, hey, you're not actually smiling, you're just sort of pretending to. Like, well, I don't care. Where the mouth moves into, this was not that kind. I can hardly say that the twinkle in her eyes meant, what the twinkle in her eyes meant, but at least I don't think it was resignation. I do hope she talks to me soon for her own sake. Huh. That's an interesting dynamic. Very human. All of this is very human. I like that these characters feel real. Even if all we're getting really is their insight. Well, I suppose now we're getting a very unadulterated element of who they are as people. But oh, here's the questions. Right. Can I go and just read these? Because I'm curious. Oh. How are you doing? Oh. Huh. Look, the questions are for her. They're perfectly straightforward. I don't think any need explanation. Take them to her yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. It's probably best if you hear it straight from the crazy bitch's mouth herself. Okay, but now I'm curious to see what happens if... Well, you're still there. Did you say the same thing? How do you feel about me? Okay. So I can't help but notice that you haven't gone back to Hyun-ae to get the whole story about the murders. Why is that? Oh, God. Is it because you don't believe me enough to ask her? Well, not necessarily. I feel there is more here, and it's not exactly that I don't trust you, but you sure as hell have a different outlook on things than I do. An outlook, so to speak, but not necessarily. You haven't given me really any reason to mistrust you yet. So no. I am just interested because I can explore this route here and actually pose the questions to you in a way, or at least see how you respond to me activating them, which is kind of interesting. So, you haven't leave me enough to ask her? No. Oh, well, that's good. You kind of looked a little worried there. Do you think it's just not important enough to ask about then? No, it is important. It just... Oh, okay. I was hoping you'd say that, honestly. All I can think then is that you'd rather just hear from me, am I right? No. Not really, no. I was just curious. I'm completely confused, but okay. If you do want to hear from me, about it from me, though, you can just indicate that by showing me the questions I gave to you. Otherwise, just feel free to go about business however you will, I guess. My concern would be that I don't know if... Well, I'll still be able to go back and pose these questions to Hyun-ae if I already ask her. Or let's somehow render that in... Whoa! What? What in the hell is happening? Okay, just in case, I'm gonna pop a save or something real quick. Yeah. Alright, I just figured it's an awfully bold thing to claim about someone you've already met, so it's better to hear it from her directly, but if you trust me, then sure. Let me just warn you though. The way this interface of hers is set up, I can actually see every single message you flagged as read. Wait. Let me just warn you though. The way this interface of hers is set up, I can actually see every single message you flagged as read. Not what she said, mind, but I can tell which logs you've seen. So obviously she can see that too. And let's be honest, that crazy bitch is gonna flip out completely if she sees her beloved gentleman rescuer knows the whole story. Like, I wouldn't enable her at all after this if I were you. This is only the point of no return with you two. Oh. Maybe not now. But literally, maybe not now. But that is interesting. Because at some point, I am going to want to go back and see what happens. What actually happens. If you listen to Mute's version first, and then go activate Hyun-ae and see what her response is. But, maybe not now. Okay, fair enough. Change your mind, just let me know. Yeah, can the weird freakiness just stop? Hey, I hate to interrupt you, but I've just noticed we've got a very serious problem here. You've noticed static in the line, right? And the fucked up music? I caught it too, but I figured it was no big deal. Well, bad news. It's a big deal. A big deal to the tune of a reactor meltdown in progress, in fact. I have no idea what that bitch has been doing with the ship in the past 600 years, but whatever it is has caused some serious power strain. So when the communication started up, well, looks like that was the tipping point that brought the ship out of low power mode and got the reactor going. The reactor that hasn't been maintained in centuries and was under the control of some idiot little girl for nearly as long. I don't suppose you know about nuclear fission reactors, do you? No, I don't. Of course, they're probably out of date compared to whatever you're using now, that's okay. Well, here's what you need to know. If you can't get that reactor under control, then this is going to be catastrophically bad. You probably won't be able to get out of range in time. We're looking at a total meltdown in 20 minutes. Clock starts now. Oh shit. Well, I do know how to shut this all down and to get everything back to safety again. If you were starting to get worried, well, don't be. When it comes to safety of this ship, I'm your girl. I'll be here to help you through this as much as you need. The first thing we're going to try doing is just simply using the disable action. I don't think this will work, mind you, but you never know. The ship's been in such a state of disrepair that non-maintenance is probably going to be really complicated. Still, try that for me, will you? Drop down to the terminal and just try shutting down the reactor directly. Oh, fuck. Right then, okay. First off, I don't know what the hell happened. There's a reason there's a split in the video is because at some point it stopped recording. I don't know how or why, but it just stopped recording. But long story short, I fucked up. Well, I succeeded, but I got one of like the alternate endings, I guess. It just shut down the reactor and that was it. I figured I'd maybe reactivate Hyun-ae and see what happens if I talk to her for a little bit first. Hello. Well, you've seen pretty much everything that matters with the Smith family now. I'm still just parsing this all myself. You know, most of it's new to me too. I mean, I was alive. I didn't even know the Smith family existed. Well, maybe Hyun-ae mentioned them once. I don't really remember. It's been 600 years, but I don't think she did. I really wish I'd known about Sojin at the time. I really, really do. So what do you think? Are you satisfied with that overview? Well, not. I don't. What do you mean? What do I overview? I'm actually confused now. What do you mean? What if I say no? What happens? Oh God. Ah. Oh well, I'm really sorry. Damn it. Fine. Yeah, I guess so. Sure. Yeah, I guess it does. Well, I can't really do anything about that now. I'm really, really sorry. That's where it ends. Oh boy. Okay. This should be fun. So I just noticed that you were able to decrypt a block I didn't have access to before. Thank you. Yeah, I had to roll back to my save from before everything went fucked over because I figured that way it would give me a little bit of time to speak with Hyun-ae before the reactor meltdown. Because, well, the save I made was basically right when the reactor meltdown was starting. I didn't have any time after that. So, yeah. I've taken a look at, and wow, no wonder that was encrypted and blocked off my access. I wouldn't have wanted that nosy security I had to read some of these. Oh my, this is dramatic. I'm not sure if you're interested, but I've given you a couple of entries from there to see for yourself. But if you don't care, that's perfectly fine. I'm sure I can find something else that you're interested in. You've given me what now? Oh. Say, I just had a thought. It's a little bit silly to keep this whole pretense of the schoolgirl librarian look, don't you think? Maybe? I mean, I'm curious how this goes, so sure to say a little. Yeah. Well, I was just thinking, you know, I've always been into cosplay. I've actually designed a bunch of other outfits, too. Now that I'm saying this, I guess it's a little bit awkward, but would you like to see? Sure. Oh, very well. You can use the change outfit command to, dress me up if you want. Oh god, that sounds so fucking wrong. Jeez, I'm sorry I'm making this all really awkward. So I have a couple that I think are really cute and you might want to see them. Please don't read into anything, it's not like I'm trying to please you because of it. Oh. I just think it might be fun, that's all. Anyway, you don't have to if you don't want to. But it's change outfit if you're really interested. Sorry, it's a really weird thing to ask about now that I think about it. Jeez, what am I saying? Yeah, here we go. The shit's starting to get weird. I just thought maybe you might be interested in that. I mean, you're interested in it, which is adorable, so, you know. Oh, everything's starting to go wrong. Everything's new here, though. That's weird. No. No. Oh, here we go, yeah. Right. Well, remember when I said that I'd never interrupt you unless there was something really, really wrong because that's annoying. I don't want to bother you, but look, I don't want to scare you. It's your... what the... You just said it's your fault. You just fucking said... You just... There's been... I thought something switched over earlier. This isn't your fault. We have a really, or maybe that's just an error because of everything going wrong. I don't know. But we have a really big problem. I'm sure you've noticed the static on the line. Yes, I was wondering what was causing it, so I checked, and it's, well, look, don't panic here, please. But it's, well, a reactor meltdown in progress. I'm really sorry. We've been running on low power mode for so long, and that was fine. When you established communications, everything started back up again. Which should have been fine, except it's been centuries since the last maintenance job was done, and I'm not really sure what's wrong yet. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is bad. This is really, really bad. I don't know if you're really aware of how this works, but we're running on nuclear fission. And it looks like we've got about 20 minutes before total meltdown. It's already running really, really hot right now. I wish I'd noticed sooner. I'm so sorry. Alright, let me put it this way. The ship is about 20 minutes away from exploding. Can you make it out of range in 20 minutes? Maybe not. I don't really know much about nuclear reactors, but yeah, that's what I expected. Don't panic, though. I can walk you through shutting it down. Just stay calm. Everything will be fine. What I'll need you to do is drop to the terminal to disable the nuclear reactor. If everything's working properly, it should be that simple. I mean, I'm sure it won't be. This is a really old ship, and clearly only one that has, one thing that's gone terribly wrong. Anyway, your first step is at least try. Actually, I'm pretty sure my first step is not to just try to disable it, because that doesn't seem to work. But, and I'm probably going to edit this out because all this typing is boring, but yeah. Okay, that did something. Oh, you did it. The reactor's not disabled. And, oh geez. Oh no, we still have a problem. Oh, what now? It's still a critical temperature. Well, the good news is you're safe now. I'm not, though. Even if there's no nuclear explosion, it's just the heat alone can do enough damage to the computer systems to, well, kill me. This is really bad. Please have to figure something out to deal with the excess heat. I'm suffering from some serious damage. Some subs just aren't responding. I feel like I did when I was alive. I feel like I'm dying. Please have to do something. Fine. Oh my god. You did it! You did it! I did. That's just gonna take a long time. That took 4 fucking ever to figure out. Oh. God, I am. It's just. It's making me use this command prompt fucking system that I'm just not good with. I'm not. I'm just so dense. The nuclear reactor is now both completely activated and a safe temperature. We're safe. Yeah, I was pretty scared there for a moment. I mean, it's not that I didn't think you could. It's just the thought of actually dying for good was scary. It was scary. But you did it, and I'm fine now. Thank you so much. I'm sure you're breathing a little easier too, right? Well, that was close. I think we both really deserve a break from the serious business, don't you agree? Sure. I thought so. Whew, really, my word, that was a close call. There's actually something that I've been thinking about for a while that I wanted to ask you about. Speaking of breaks, no, serious, just give me 1 second, because, speaking of which, Mute's dead now. I had to disable her core in order to balance the power out. I figure if I had stuck around with Mute, I would have had to kill Hyun-ae and then just repeat the process with her, I suppose. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know how else you do that. That's... Oh, anyway, go on. And, well, I had sensors working before. I've seen your ship. I know it's only big enough for one person. It sounds awfully remarkable that you could have a ship like that just for yourself. I mean, in my time we were using generation ships. Now it's incredibly state-of-the-art. So, is that normal? Do you do this all the time? Go on strange adventures by yourself in deep space? Yeah. It's like fucking Elite Dangerous up in this shit. Wow, that's really amazing. Remarkable, really. See, when I found out that I was going to get put into stasis to wake up far later, that was the future I always dreamed about. One that was full of amazing things like, I don't know, holograms, miracle medicine, ships that travel faster than light, colonies on other planets. That's sort of amazing. I mean, I've never liked science fiction. It's just too unrealistic. But when I was a kid, I figured it'd still be fun to live in it. Imagine my surprise. But it sure sounds like you're from that future. Oh, I'm sorry I'm rambling, aren't I? It's just the idea of finally getting that perfect future that I was denied, traveling with someone in deep space. Well, that sounds awfully romantic. Sorry, I'll stop now. Let's get back to the serious business. Was there something about, like, changing outfits? Let me see something. Help me change my clothes. Change outfit, costume. Okay, so there's different costumes. Oh, is this that DLC? Okay. Costume. Okay, so we got schoolgirl default. Okay. Hanbok maid, detective, scientist. Okay, okay, let's, I feel so weird doing this. Oh. So, that's the way things are, I suppose. You're disappointed in me? Is that it? Now that you know I'm a real girl, you expect me to dress like one? No. What? No. What the fuck? I was just going through the list. Although, to be honest, I'm saving detective for last, because that sounds awesome. No, that's not it. Oh. That's a relief. Where'd you even find this? I didn't make this design. I guess it was in the computer already. Oh. Because it's what I wore on his life. I didn't notice what the glitch said. I never liked it, not a bit. I always wanted to wear fun things, but instead I had to wear this all the time. I still don't like it. But I suppose something formal would be more appropriate because of all the serious stuff and all. Well, go ahead, let's go back to work now. Well, no, I'm not leaving you in that. I just want to see what it looked like. It's... God, that's fucking weird. It's just... Here, let me put you in something else. Like you're a goddamn doll. Okay. Change outfit. And we're gonna go with maid. Oh, this is gonna elicit a response, isn't it? Hyun-ae now dressed up as a maid. It's cute. Oh no. Oh no. Welcome back, master. What may I do for you? So you did decide to after all. I'm really excited. Well, tell me, what do you think? I mean, you seem to be happy, but it is adorable. Really? Thank you. I'm happy to hear you like it. I mean, I already know that I'm good. Oh. Whoa. God damn it, Hyun-ae, you fucking... I didn't get to catch all that. She said something about she knows she's good looking, and what am I even saying? I just think it's fun dressing up like this, and I'm happy you agree with me. I've dressed up for this before, but never knew one I already liked. It's a really different feeling. It's, how do I put this? Well, even if you think I look cute, I'm sure you think this is at least a little embarrassing, right? Yes, it actually is. Like I said, it's like, it feels like I'm dressing up a doll, but considering that you're intelligent, this is really weird. Of course, it sort of is, isn't it? That's the fun of it, isn't it? Putting yourself in that sort of position by choice because you really... no, I still don't know how to say it. You make me sound more like a fetish. Jeez, I'm just gonna stop now before I make a bigger mess of myself. Wouldn't that be alright for maid, though, wouldn't I? I fucking knew you were gonna say that shit. Well, should we get more serious stuff? I'd be happy to help with whatever you like. Okay, now we're gonna switch this up too. I just want to see them all. It's weird, but I want to see them. Curse my curiosity. Outsift. Change outfit to scientist because I'm saving the detective for last. Oh, that's cute. You know, lately I felt like everything's been moving so quickly. So much more quicker than the usual dragging boredom being with someone I really like. Not being all alone. But the time is slow or fast depends on perception. Relativity theory is so romantic and so sad. Or I like that now she's pulling off some fucking like scientific bullshit. Or at least I remember hearing something like that. So what do you think of this outfit, scientifically speaking, of course? You're scientifically adorable. You are. Oh, you think so? Thank you. That's some very useful data. This costume actually means a lot to me personally. See, my father, my real father, was a ship's engineer. I always wanted to be just like him when I grew up. Of course, that was never able to happen. But, well, I guess being a computer programmer is as close to being a real computer scientist as I'll ever get. That's what means a lot to me. Do you think that sort of thing is fine? For a girl to follow in a father's footsteps? Absolutely. Of course it's admirable. Why would a girl... Fuck off. Of course it's admirable. Do whatever the fuck you want, goddammit. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Can't believe I'm pulling back on that old ass meme. I'm glad you think so. Well, anyway, I suppose we should get back to work now. Scientifically speaking, I'll be happy to help test some more theories with you. Seeing as happy as this one makes her and all, I probably might just let her stick in this one. I do want to see what the one looks like. What I'm saying is I might switch back to that one. Because it has such a personal, connotation with her. I feel like it'd be kind of cruel to, well, not cruel necessarily, but a bit of a kinder thing to let her stay in one that has some meaning to her. As opposed to just dress up for my amusement, which is what's happening now, which is, like I said, weird. Detective. This should be fun. Oh, that is oh my god. Oh my. That's amazing. I knew the dame was trouble the moment they connected me to the ship. Couldn't say a word or the questions to me. Or something like that. Even a little pipe. Awesome. But really, now we both match, don't we? I mean, obviously you're some sort of investigator, so I think this goes especially well. Right? I mean, what do you think? Me, cute psychic. You really do. Oh, well, thank you. Actually, this one is based off a movie I saw as a child. I guess the name doesn't really matter since it's countless hundreds of years old and all. Anyway, it was my favorite. I don't really normally like mysteries, but the love story in it was just so wonderful. Well, that and it had a really cute guy for a hero. Anyway, he dressed like this and it looked really great. Psychic, huh? I like that a lot. So about the whole look, you don't really mind when a girl dresses or acts more like a guy then? No, I do not. Bit perverse. What? Bit pervert. Well, I think it's a really good look, so I'm glad. I don't mind either. The part that's really sort of funny, I actually have no idea how an app like this is supposed to feel. Aw. Not like emotionally, I mean like literally. I have no idea what a suit feels like. I've never worn them in my life. Oh well, the chance for that has long disappeared. Anyway, I should stop babbling. I'm just really excited, that's all. I suppose I should let you get back to it. Leon, investigator, and your trusty psychic will help as best she can. Okay, now I don't know if I want to put her, if I want to let her stay in this or switch her back to the scientist. That's... I don't know. I don't know. But I am in this episode here. This has gone on a little, well, it's technically gone longer than I was planning because of the whole reactor bullshit. And now there's two videos, two files I have to splice together because for some reason OBS decided it wanted to fuck up. But in any case, thank you very much for watching. I've enjoyed and I will see you in the next episode, which I actually will be recording soon.